Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing fan-dabby-dozy. So I had no idea what to sit down and film today. So I put a wee poll on my Instagram between a super easy day to night makeup and the start of my Zodiac series. And apparently Instagram couldn't decide either because the poll came out like bang on 50-50. So I'm going to show you today how I achieve my super easy day to night makeup. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I know we have all, or most of us have probably been in that situation where you're either at work or you're out running errands or you're just like having a wee potter about and you are going out later on. So you might be going to the club, you might be going to see a show, you might be going to the pub, you might be going for dinner. So you're kind of having to go from not looking like you've made an effort to looking an effort very quickly. And I'm pretty sure most people have had to have done this. I have done it many a time. So I've kind of created a little formula for myself, which I think will work for a lot of people, hopefully. So first things first, I have already cleansed, toned and moisturised my face, as always. And of course, I'm going to prime. Now obviously you want to prime because you need to keep your makeup on all day. And everything I use will be listed down below as always. So a lot of my steps and products that I am going to use for the kind of day part of the makeup is going to be very similar to my everyday makeup, which I have already done a tutorial on. You can check that out down below or here, whichever I figure out which one is going to be easiest. But there are a few things that I am going to change. So for primer, I actually used more of a sticky primer today because it's just going to hold on to your makeup that much longer. So it's literally just going to act like Velcro with your makeup, just so that it stays on longer. So I'm using a bit more of a high coverage foundation today because obviously I want this to last all day. So I usually would go in with a bit more of a high coverage foundation when I was doing this. So I'm just going to take that and dot it about my face as always. To blend my foundation in today, I'm actually going to use a brush because a brush doesn't soak up as much product and it won't sheet it out as much as a sponge would. So I'm just going to take a brush and buff it in. So I'm actually using the same amount of product that I usually would, but I will get a different finish because of the way I'm applying it. So once I have kind of roughly blended my foundation all over my skin, it's not completely sunk in yet, make it last that wee bit longer, and to finish off blending in, I'm going to take my sponge, this is kind of already damp, and a setting spray. This is just Glow Fix from Makeup Revolution, and I'm going to spray the sponge with my setting spray and use this to kind of bounce it in. So this will kind of sheet it out a tiny bit, but it will also set it in place and just give you a really flawless looking base. Next up, I'm going to go in with my concealer. So I'm using two shades today. The first one, both the same concealer, is the Lasting Perfection Concealer by Collection. I'm using 1B, which is Warm Fair, and 0, which is Extra Fair. So I'm going to go in with the kind of darker one first. And I'm going to put that just on my dark circle area. Now you can see this is obviously darker than my foundation, but it's more orange, so it's really going to cancel out the blue purple tones that I have under my eyes. And I'm going to blend it in using a beauty blender because I want to sheer the colour out. And then to brighten up underneath my eyes, I'm going to use that shade 0 Extra Fair, and I'm just going to put it in the spots I would usually put concealer to highlight and lift rather than conceal. So I'm just going to blend that in again. Okay, so next up I'm going to set my face. Now normally on an everyday occasion I would just loosely set my face. However, if I am trying to keep my makeup on all day, then there is no way that a loose dusting of powder is just going to cut it, because literally I'll put my makeup on at 12 o'clock and by 2 o'clock it's like an oil slick on my face. So that's just not going to cut it, especially when I want this makeup to look good at 10 o'clock at night. So today I'm going to go in with the RCMA No Colour Powder. I'm actually going to use a sponge. Now on a normal basis I would say don't bake your face because it just gives you the weirdest texture. However, I'm going to do this today, especially for my under eyes, because that's the area that I always find slips the most, and around my nose, my chin and my T-zone. So all the oiliest parts I'm going to bake, the rest of my face I'm going to set loosely with the powder. So baking, you just take a tiny amount of powder on the sponge and press it into your foundation. So I press that under there. And a lot of people don't need to do this because you will have nice skin that isn't oily and doesn't need to be excessively set with powder. I'm not that person. So then once I've kind of powdered my entire face, I like to go in with a clean brush and just lightly dust everything away just to make sure that there's no excess powder sitting on the surface. It will just stop you from looking extra cakey. If you have more mature skin, I would say not to do this step. Still set your face with a tiny bit of powder, but if you use too much powder on more mature skin, it's just going to sink into your fine lines and it's not going to look as nice as it should. So try and stay away from it. Once I've brushed the excess powder off, I then go in with a healthy dose of setting spray just to melt that in and make it look a bit more natural. Now that is me kind of applied my base, it's nice and secure, it's fixed in place, it's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to move on to the rest of my face product. As always, the first thing that I'm going to do is apply some bronzer. I need to get a new one. And I'm going in on a big fluffy brush, as always, and making myself look a bit more tanned because I'm a wee ghosty right now. Okay, so now that I have bronzed and looking a bit more lively, I'm going to go ahead and apply some blush. So the blush I'm using today is Heartthrob by Geek. I'm just using this because it's quite neutral, so it'll pretty much go with anything. And I'm just taking that on a pointed fluffy brush as always and applying it at the tops of my cheeks. And for highlighter, I'm just going to go in with my favourite. This is Jouer Citrine on a nice fan brush. And just apply that tops of my cheekbones, just to give myself a nice healthy glow for everyday wear. Okay, so now that that is all my powder products applied, I'm going to go ahead with another layer of setting spray. I'm quickly going to go ahead and do my brows. I'm just going to do them the same as I do them every day, so you can go and check out my other tutorial for that, and I will be right back. Next up is eyes. So just like your base makeup, the first thing that you want to do if you want this makeup to stay on all day is prime your eyes. So as always, I'm just going to go in with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot just on a fluffy brush. I know that a lot of people, when they are going out, especially if you're going straight from work, you don't want to take your full makeup kit with you. You don't want to take a full eyeshadow palette, and you don't have to take a full eyeshadow palette. All you need is your trusty bronzer, because this is like the perfect warm brown smoky eyeshadow shade. What I like to do is just take a big fluffy eyeshadow brush, dip it in my bronzer, tap off the excess, and put this into and above my crease, just in the eye shape that I like. So I kind of wing mine out at the edge. So this trick will work for everyone because bronzer is made to replicate the natural warmth of your skin. And I also take that big fluffy brush and just run it underneath my lashes too. I like my eyes to look really nice and smoky and hazy, so you can always take it on a smaller brush if you fancy, but I prefer it on a bigger brush. I also like to take a bit just in the inner part of my nose slash eyebrow area, because this helps to like contour your nose a bit rather than you having to go in and like contour. So now all I'm going to go ahead and do is curl my eyelashes and apply some mascara. I'm using waterproof mascara because it helps hold your curl and it will also last longer throughout the day. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Wiggle and lift, wiggle and lift. Okay, so once I've applied my mascara, I also put a wee tiny bit of my highlighter on my inner corner and underneath my eyebrow, just to bring a wee tiny bit of lift to the eye. So now all that is left for the day part of this look is the lips. So I've just wiped the foundation off. I'm going to go in with my Dr. Paw Tinted Peach Pink Balm and a clear gloss and just apply that all over my lips, just for a wee bit of colour. Okay, so to lock this all in place one final time, another wee tiny bit of setting spray, just for good measure. So that is the day portion of this makeup finish. So it's just something that is long wearing, but it's also super easy, fresh, glowy, and doesn't look like you've put too much effort in. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would turn this nice day look into a nighttime look using very minimal products that will give you a big impact. So let's go. Okay, so the beauty of this day to night makeup is it requires minimal products to get you between A and B. So to me, this is a tip that I learned a long time ago, and it's put me in good stead because now this is just all I do. You are going out and you think, oh my god, people are going to think that I've just put no effort in because I've got just like barely any makeup on, and I've not put any, like I've not got a smoky eye, I've not got anything like that. Don't worry, okay? As soon as you put on lashes and lips, nobody cares because they think she's put an effort in, because lashes and a perfectly lined lip are probably the two hardest steps to a makeup routine. So if you do those two things, then people are going to think, wow, she's really put the effort in tonight, when in actual fact you've not. It's genius. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my brow pomade. You could absolutely use the same pencil that you used from before and just go in with a bit of a heavier hand. And I'm just going to focus this on the tail end of my brow, just ever so slightly. And I'm not creating a new brow shape with this, I'm just emphasising what we already had. So that is me kind of amped my brows up a bit, and as you can see, it just gives you that wee extra bit of definition and depth to your eyebrows. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and amp up the colour on my cheeks a bit. So I'm just taking the same blush from before and just applying it where I did before, but just to kind of increase the pigment. Obviously I have not worn this makeup during the day, so it's not got any wear time on it, but I know this would stay on for me anyway because I do this all the time. So the easiest way to kind of add a wee bit of glam to your eyeshadow is to buy something like this. So these are all liquid eyeshadows that have a tiny bit of glitter in it. So if you want to add a bit of oomph to your eyeshadow, these are the easiest things to do it with. Another thing that you could do if you don't like the idea of using a liquid eyeshadow is get a very, very glittery highlighter, something like this one here. I'm just going to swatch it so you can see it is. So I'm going to start with the highlighter. You don't have to use both of these products. I'm just going to show you both because they get the same result, but it's just kind of different ways that you use them. I'm going to take a flat packer brush and just spray it lightly with some setting spray. And then I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to dip my kind of wet brush in it. Then I'm going to take this while it's still wet and I'm going to apply this to just the centre of my lid. And you can see it just gives this like insane metallic finish. And then I'm going to take my ring finger, dip into the eyeshadow so that it's dry on my finger, and then I'm just going to press it over just to give it that tiny bit of oomph. If you don't want to go in with a highlighter, that's absolutely fine. I would recommend getting one of these. This is the BeautyBay Liquid Crystal Eyeshadow. They're kind of like a dupe for the Stila ones, but these are like £6, so they're far cheaper. I'm just going to take that, it's like a wee doe foot applicator, and I'm just going to apply it in the centre of my lid. And then just use my finger and tap it out. Super easy. And this absolutely would work on its own. It's pigmented enough to work on its own. So now I'm just going to take a liquid black eyeliner. This is the NYX matte black eyeliner. It's my favourite. And I'm just going to draw a thin line across my top lashes. I'm only going to do this so that I can hide the lash band of the lashes that I'm about to apply. If you wanted to do a winged liner, you absolutely could. I just don't think it will work with this look. I've got glitter everywhere. So I'm just going to apply a very, very thin line across my upper lashes. Just like that. So then I'm just going to go in with a wee tiny extra bit of mascara just to make sure that our lashes are all black. I'm going to put quite a lot extra on my lower lashes just to really help define them, because we're going to be putting some falsies on. Okay, so to finish off the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and apply a pair of lashes. These are the TL6 by Tatti Lashes. I'm going to go ahead and apply these quickly and I will be right back. Then once my lashes are on, I'm just going to go in with a tiny amount of mascara just to blend them together. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, so once that is our eyes complete, I'm just going to go into the face one tiny more time, just with my sponge again and some setting spray, and just press it in again to the skin, just to fix everything in place. It'll also kind of help to blot any oils away because I am already looking oily, which just goes to show. Obviously, if you're doing this in real time, you might want to go in with a wee extra bit of concealer. If you are going to apply concealer or extra foundation or whatever, don't smear it into your skin when you're reapplying. Pat it in because it's not going to move the product underneath it. Obviously, you can go in with a wee tiny bit of powder and then set it, or just blot away some of the shine, and then use the wee sponge setting spray tip just to lock it all in place one final time. To finish off this look, I'm going to go ahead and do a nice bright red lip. Now, obviously I know a red lip is not for everyone because a lot of people are like, I'm scared of looking like a clown. Understandable. So if you don't like a red lip, then obviously you can go in with a nude or a pink or whatever floats your boat. But I would say this is like the make or break point. So to make it look like you've put a lot of effort in, you need to make this lip look perfect. So use a lip liner, use a lipstick, use a lip gloss if you want one, blot your lips, just make it look as perfect as you can. Don't just go in and smudge lipstick everywhere and not pay any attention, because that's why you look like a clown when you wear red lipstick. First, I'm going to use MAC lip liner in the shade Cherry. This is, if you invest in anything in makeup, invest in a good lip liner because they make the difference. And these are some of my favourites. So I'm going to go in and really carefully outline my lips, slightly overdraw them, but yeah, be very careful because it's red. As you can see, I've just applied that lip liner all over, and you could absolutely stop here. MAC lip liners are great because they're really long wearing, but they're also not too drying, so you can wear them all over your lip. Okay, so to finish off the lips, I'm just going to go in with a lipstick. This is just a wee MUA one. Just going to go ahead and apply this all over my lips. And this is like the perfect, like, classic red lip. You can then go in with your lip liner and then just touch up any areas that need finessing. Mine's is okay, actually. So there you have it, guys. That is my super easy day to night glam using minimal products. This is something that I do literally most of the time when I'm going out after I've either been at work or I've been at college and I just need to look a bit more glam. This is just my foolproof way of making my makeup versatile and suitable for more than one occasion. So yeah. But as always, everything that I have used is listed down below, as well as all of my social medias. If you could give me a wee like and a follow on those. Also make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, as well as hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And leave me a comment telling me if you want to see another kind of video like this, what video you want to see next. I don't know. The world is your oyster, let me know. As always, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! Why am I nervous today? It's just silly as guy. I've already done a video on. Someone has just started to lawn the grass. Really? That means the window's got to get shut. I'm getting covered in product.